Hey everyone, this is Dan with Theta Trend. Today is Thursday, January 28th, 2016. It's 3:18 p.m. or so here Mountain Time. The market closed an hour and 15 minutes ago. I'm getting this video out a little bit later today because I had some things going on and I just wasn't able to make it an hour ago. At any rate, let's take a look at the market. We're looking at a daily chart of the Russell 2000 right now. The market closed at 1003 and change, basically unchanged from yesterday. Even though the market was higher on the day, it was higher up in here and then had some late day selling that came in. But the selling that came in was really kind of like a grinding lower motion. This is the 5-minute chart here that I just bumped over to, and it was just kind of this chopping downward movement, I guess. It wasn't definitive panic selling or anything like that, just kind of a steady grind lower. It's almost more, it seems like the buyers just kind of lost interest in buying and the sellers sort of, became slightly more aggressive, but it was just more of a drift than anything. We're still holding up and above this 995 level. This is kind of a critical level. I think the longer that we stay above this, it's going to become more important rather, sorry. And if we violate that level, it's likely that we're going to make a test down here to the low 980s, that 983 level or so. And if we violate that level, it wouldn't be surprising to see ourselves come down here back into the 950s. We still haven't gotten a break above this 1020-ish level either. And so if the market was to get above 1020-ish, we'd expect to see it move back up in here into the low 1030s. And we just haven't seen it happen. This is the 65-minute time frame. What we can see is we have the 5-day moving average, simple moving average, the yellow line here. It's starting to cross over the 10-day simple moving average. But really, these things are just kind of crossing back and forth and chopping around. And that's really what the market's been doing. After this big move lower, it just seems to be digesting the move and just kind of drifting. And we don't know if the market's ultimately going to head higher or if it's going to head lower, but it's just taking some time to digest the big move that it's had lower. And that's normal, that's healthy, and it's kind of what we'd expect. But to say that the market's going higher, to say that the market's going lower at this point is, sort of foolish. We're just going to wait around and see what happens. If we do get a break up and above this 1020 level, we have a plan in place. We know how we're going to adjust the CIB. If we get a break down below this, we're fine. We have plenty of room to run on the downside. The lower adjustment point is down in the 940s. It's about 944, so the Russell would really need to come down, break through the 980 level, break through the new low, and then we'd be looking at an adjustment to roll the position lower. But that hasn't happened yet, so there's not really any reason to be concerned about it. We're just kind of hanging out in the trade, and we'll take a look at the position right now. Just hanging out in the trade, and that's fine. As of today, including the open adjustments, this has that little $7 loss on the initial roll lower. The position showing an open profit of $5 or so. Nothing major. It's essentially hanging out at zero is all that's going on. The price didn't change from yesterday. It was basically here. It looks like a little bit of money came out of the position today. Not a big deal, not a big change. But the delta is still under control. We have a -1 delta, gamma's -3, theta's starting to tick up as we move closer. We're inside of 50 days now, I think. 49 days. So the position is starting to get a little bit closer. Once we get down into the lower 40s and certainly into the 30s, we'll hopefully start to see this T+0 line rise up even more. If we do get a move lower, it should be nice. We should get a little kick in implied volatility from this upper long put, and that will help our position out. But for the time being, it's just chugging along, and there isn't much to do or even really to say about it. It's just the nature of the thing. It just takes care of itself, and that's fine. That's good. That's what we want. One of the things I wanted to point out today is, if you aren't doing it already, you should probably follow me on Twitter. And so if you go to twitter.com/thetatrend, this is the Twitter page. And one of the things to point out here is there's a pinned tweet, and this is the post about the 4 volatility indicators. And so these are technical indicators that you can put into Thinkorswim. That's a good thing to pick up. But more importantly, I just wanted to point out some of these other trades. I've been trading some of these broken wing butterflies, and whenever I put on another trade or take off a trade, see here, this says BTO, which means bought to open, the SPX March 1st, and then these are the strikes, broken wing butterfly at 10 cents. So when I'm getting filled on these positions, I'm tweeting them out. So if you aren't doing it already, you might want to follow me on Twitter, and you'll see what other positions I'm trading in addition to the CIB. We haven't looked at those in these videos, but just if you want to follow along and see what's happening, this is a good place to look. If you don't care about seeing it in real time, you can go over to the Theta Trend site here, and there's a results tab. And so click on that results tab and let this load, and you can see there is a Google spreadsheet. And I'm going to go ahead and just click on this spreadsheet, and that's going to open it in a new tab. And when you come down here, this is a spreadsheet that's tracking all of the positions. The first section on this spreadsheet is open positions. Oop, it looks like the spreadsheet's still thinking there. The first section on this spreadsheet is open positions. And so you can see here, this was an out-of-the-money broken wing butterfly. We came to a downside adjustment point, so I closed the position and I rolled it down. And that's all this really says. This is the March CIB that we've been talking about. And there was the close to roll it lower, and then we reopened it lower. This is another broken wing butterfly. This is another broken wing butterfly. I bought a long SPY put this morning just for disaster protection in case we have a sharp move lower. And down here, these are the closed trades for January. So you have the January closed credit spread, the February CIB, and it's February because that's the expiration cycle of the options, but it was traded during the month of January and closed during the month of January. So I'm tracking these based on the month that the position is closed. And if we go a little bit further, there's another broken wing butterfly. This one was in the rut, and this was a losing trade. I bought a vertical hedge to cut down the delta. Then we closed outside the body of the position, and I decided not to defend it anymore and just take the loss and move on. And that's fine. That happens sometimes. And then these are a couple of additional SPX broken wing butterflies that have been closed. And those were the trades that were tweeted out earlier today, and also this was tweeted, and this was tweeted. So if you want a little bit more real-time information, I'd recommend following me on Twitter. I'm tracking a balance over here in this column as well on the spreadsheet. So if you go to the January closed positions and scroll over, you can see that I'm tracking a balance and then taking the initial capital, the change on the trades, here's the losing trade, and just running it down through to a total number. So if you want to see what's going on and how I'm trading these positions and what's happening, this is probably the best place to look. And the way you find that, again, is by going to ThetaTrend, click the Results tab, and then there's this link right here for the results in the Google spreadsheet, or you can look at it on the page. But that's all I have for today. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, info@thetatrend.com. Thanks for watching.